Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Today I'm reading assignment 7 on rough sheets, data analysis and knowledge discovery. A case of Kuwait diabetic children patients. In Kuwait, what are the cases for children diabetics? The topic I did here. Here, coming to the summary of the page. In summary of the page, these are the references. These are the three references I taken to complete this page. The reading assignment. These are the three references. And coming to the purpose. In purpose, the primary purpose of this research was to identify factors that influence self-reported treatment among patients with diabetes with the focus on the impact of children's psychology features. This action was taken to facilitate the development of a classifier function. A rough sheet theory is used to 32 samples consisting of 302 Kuwait children with diabetes between the age of 7 and 13 with the goal of extracting the most important traits and deducing rules for further analysis. An approach to rough sheet discategorization using Boolean logic is described, and the rough sheet reduction method is then applied to find all reductants in the data. To simplify the classification process, each data reductant contains just the essential features associated with a class label. Using Boolean logic, we demonstrate a method for discretizing data into approximate sets. Next, the dependency rules for a rough sheets are inferred directly using all of reductants. A confusion matrix is used as a first step in accessing how well the projected reductants and the classes fit the facts. Classifiers based on a rough sheet have been compared to those based on decision trees, on neural networks, and statistical discriminant analysis. The rules provided by rough sheets are both easier to articulate and more accurate. And and next, the related literature. In recent years, there has been increase in both the incidence and the severity of diabetes as a chronic childhood illness. Multiple studies have shown that diabetes has devastating effects on children's health and development. Diabetic children are more likely to have behavioral and emotional challenges than their typical developing peers. Multi Multiple disciplines of study have investigated the link between diabetes and emotional distress in young people. They include medicine, psychology, and nutrition, medical records, and other forms of health information on a massive scale. There is hope that by doing this study, detecting pertinent links and patterns and generating results, important medical advances will be found. Dealing with ambiguity, juggling data points there that are in contradiction with one another, and switching between many representations of data are all common practices in medical data interpretation and, and research design or strategy. The prevalence and impact of diabetes mm, as a chronic childhood condition has increased in recent years. Diabetes have been demonstrated in several studies to have severe consequences for children's health and development. For instance, research shows that children with the diabetes are more likely to struggle with emotional behavior issues than their usual developing peers. This is the case even when comparing children of the same age. Researchers from several fields, including as a medicine, psychology, and nutrition, have looked at the correlation between diabetes and emotional difficulties in young people. Massive diabetes, including people's medicine histories and other health data, have been compiled and the results, discussions, and conclusions. The medical sciences are only one several professions that may profit greatly by categorizing a group of components into a few discrete categories. Indeed, now here more evident than in the medical profession. 2 decades of research and successful applications of traditional multivariate statistical confirmation approaches have advanced our knowledge of the classification issues. Linear analysis, quadratic analysis, and logistic analysis are all instances of such methods. Neural networks, Bayesian classifiers, evolutionary algorithms, decision trees, fuzzy theories, and rough sheets are just some of the cutting-edge methods utilized to process medical data. And the contributions of the page is the contributions are medical breakthroughs might be uncovered via doing this research, identifying relevant linkages and patterns, and producing results. It is typically practiced for medical data interpretation to include dealing with ambiguity, and data points that are in conflict with one another, and moving between any more representations of the data. Current methods of current methods of intelligent data analysis rely too much on relative strong assumptions, making it difficult for them to make conclusions for little information or deal with the contracted data. This is due to the fact that inconsistency in data provide a challenge for the approachers. A knowledge of dependencies, probability distributions, and a large number of experiments. And and next coming to critical analysis. In critical analysis, the overall assessment. The overall assessment is the difficult of determining which columns of the decision table should be used to determine which categories is a major obstacle in supervised learning. Decision category may be used to not only uncover previously unseen patterns in the data, but also to categorize completely novel things. Information systems may benefit from the discovery of new sites when rules are built to categorize the links between data sets. Even if the underlying data was not designed to be classified in this way, with the redundancy identified, the value of the information systems decision feature could be more preciously specified. Creating a rule from reductant is as simple as giving the reductant values for its condition features that are consistent with the object classes it was derived from. The rule is complete when the decision class is included. This may be seen as a condition since it categorized can be modified in the same way as those other conditions. The rules were established from the training set will be used to label fresh data and research methodology. The research methodology, these recommendations may be used by themselves as a kind of categorization scheme. Predictions regarding the likely categories into which incoming objects will fall may be made using this classifier. If we want to choose a rule that serves as used as well, we may try to find one who conditional component deviates as little as possible from the vector of the refuted image. Voting is used to determine the decision value when numerous criteria are potentially applicable, multiplying the total number of matched objects by the total number of times that rules was put to a vote yields the decision value of a rule. The most commonly agreed upon category is then selected based on the results of the poll. Some of the criteria from selection may be dropped if suitable quality measurements are available. And the future research. Paying attention also serves as source of creating inspiration for writers. Methods that may be used with the neural network varieties that do better when fed tabular data are the primary focus of this investigation since they better explain individual predictions. Some particularly effective methods are sensitivity analysis and a deep lift. Algorithms like this will be studied more thoroughly in the future. Tabular data refers to data that is not organized yet is shown in the tabular format. Different types of data, binary, continuous, ordinal, and categorical, may be represented in this format. Samples as rows and the dimensions as a columns. Samples as a rows and dimensions as a columns. By unstructured, we mean that there is no clear geographical or empirical relationship between the data features. This is what we mean when we talk about data being unstructured. And new knowledge I learned from this is after producing decision tables from a raw data, it is simpler to zero down the most important qualities after discarding the rest. Now, change in reliance would occur between the remaining qualities and the selection if the irrelevant features were removed from the model. Good judgment may also include being able to gauge the degree of a resemblance between two things. When we say reduce, we intended to use the fewest possible variables to represent the core of the degree of dependence. Using a decision table, one can locate the center and reductions which may be used to tune out unnecessary details. This method may be considered global in scope since the resulting reducts are the smallest set of category, cat, characteristics that nevertheless provide the same degree of categorization as a whole original set. To put it simply, Redux or the smallest set of characteristics that allow for classification. If you apply weights to each property and then choose the attributes with the highest weights, you may find it simpler to identify usual features. And the questions I need to discuss from this page are there any additional obscure factors to take into an account? And the second question I need to discuss is in what ways may we explain phenomena without restoring to a particular model? These two questions I need to discuss, and that's it from the page. And thank you. Thank you.